terms of a brief background of who I am and my experience with evaluation, so I'm a professor of marketing here at University of the Sunshine Coast. And in marketing, we do a lot of research and we do a lot of evaluation. The main area that I'm interested in is an area called social marketing, which is where we look at wicked problems that are difficult to tease apart and difficult to determine if we've been successful at. So evaluation is really key. And with the projects that I work on, there's multiple stakeholders and everyone's got different KPIs, different views of what success is. So evaluation is central to what they do. I've also done a number of presentations and am involved with the Australian Evaluation Society and the Research Society as well, talking about evaluation of hard to reach groups and giving examples of projects that I've worked on where we've looked at different stakeholders' perspectives, what they've tried to achieve, and just trying to figure out have the goals been met that they set and have they achieved what they wanted to. Outreach staff can set up a planning structure that will help them to undertake their outreach evaluation. It's really important to understand that evaluation doesn't just occur at the end of the program or the project, but it actually occurs throughout, including in the pre-delivery stage. It's important at this point in that pre-evaluation stage that you actually figure out, well, who are the stakeholders? Who's involved in this? It's not just the student participants, it's also university management, for example. And maybe it's that sitting down and clarifying what's important to you. What do you see success as? And what are our KPIs around this? It's also about sitting down with the schools as well and identifying the key touch points or the key people with whom you should be talking to and understanding where they're coming from and what they're trying to achieve. So with evaluation, probably the first step is to identify who the stakeholders are and then plan to do evaluation before, at the beginning, in the middle, and after you complete the actual outreach activity itself. A lot of the time we do leave it to the end, and by then we don't get the quality information that we're after. So for example, before the outreach program begins, you might do a short survey or interviews with students who are going to participate in the outreach project and ask them what their expectations are, what they're hoping to achieve as a result of it, or where they see their career going or what university options they have ahead of them. During the project, you might actually be talking to the university staff or academics who are delivering the project. How do they feel it went? What worked well? What were some feedbacks or differences over time? Also, towards the end of the project, you might even start to engage in the parents if they're school children or other community members that have been involved in terms of what their observations are. Often outreach includes student ambassadors, so they're a really great source because they're at the coalface and they have such a huge impact on these sorts of outreach activities. Asking them about what their experiences were and what they saw, and even providing, a brief rating scale of how they felt things went, or what were key pain points, or what were key things that came up that you could work on to improve the project next, or the program next year. We should also consider, perhaps at the end, considering talking to the school itself in terms of how they felt the program was run, if it was run well or efficiently, or other ways that we can, or you could improve the project itself. Often at the end, we do an evaluation that just sort of says, was this a great experience for you? So about that sort of immediate feelings and thoughts. But what you should also consider is a follow-up evaluation 2 or 3 months later, and even a year later, because this is where we see the real impact. We know that with outreach and we know with career decision making that it's a protracted process. It doesn't occur in the short period, it occurs over years, and it involves multiple influences and multiple people. So those sort of follow-up events 3 or 4 months later or a year later actually help to give you the real longitudinal impact of what the work you were doing is, and that helps to give you that basis of understanding whether you're being efficient and effective in what you're doing and whether you're achieving the objectives that you set out for.